Marvel fans, we've got some crazy news today because we just got some major leaks about the stories of Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars that give us some insane new details on the film, but also new leaks about how the MCU's upcoming reboot is going to work. We also got a brand new interview from the president of Marvel Studios himself, Kevin Feige, that gives us some brand new official info on these movies, so let's get into it all. We're going to start off with this new Kevin Feige interview because in case you missed it, in the last couple days, Marvel Studios was at CinemaCon and they showed the first trailer for Avengers Doomsday there, but sadly they have not released it online. There have been zero leaks of this trailer, the actual footage coming out. But Kevin Feige, he was nice enough to give us a brand new interview, and he actually gave us some pretty interesting information about these upcoming new Avengers films that tie into the leaks that we'll get to later. In this new interview, Kevin Feige talked about how Avengers Doomsday will connect to Avengers Secret Wars, and he said they relate in a very different way than Infinity War and Endgame. I think people are expecting a similar connection, and while one certainly does lead into the other, it's in a very different way. And I think I know what he means by this, because I've been very concerned that Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars will feel exactly like Infinity War and Endgame, where Doom wins at the end, then the Avengers are like, okay, let's rally the team with the remaining ones of us, and they undo it in Secret Wars. While that definitely could happen in this movie still, I think the way it happens is going to be incredibly different, and it plays into the fact that Avengers Secret Wars is going to be this new starting point for the MCU. Kevin Feige has described it as that before and talked about this kind of soft reboot. But let's transition over to some of these leaks we got from the Cosmic Circus talking about Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, because he says that most of the characters in Avengers Secret Wars will be under Doctor Doom's control. They will be living in a more medieval version of Wanda Maximoff's hex she had in Westview in the WandaVision show, and described it as WandaVision meets What If the Avengers Assembled in 1602. Now, what's crazy about this is, if you remember, like over a year ago, we had the earliest leaked concept art for Avengers Doomsday, and a lot of it was kind of this medieval vibe. There were the ones of the Young Avengers and Star-Lord sitting at this tavern, and the Hulks in this like village of Hulks here. There's also this one of Doctor Strange here working with Doctor Doom in his like God Emperor outfit in this medieval looking room. So maybe this is really what happens, and how this would be different is that yes, maybe the Avengers lose at the end of Doomsday, Doom starts this battle world. But if these are all true, because remember these are leaks, take them with a grain of salt, but when multiple leaks line up with this, it's more believable. Definitely, I feel like this could be the big difference, because Infinity War ended in complete doom and gloom of everyone losing and feeling that defeat, where maybe they do lose in Avengers Doomsday, but they don't even know it. Most of the Avengers are just on this new battle world thinking, oh yeah, this is just life as we've always lived it, and they're just under control and don't even know it. As I just showed this image of a minute ago, he's also teasing that yes, a lot of the focus is going to be on the younger characters, specifically the young Avengers are probably going to have a big role in Secret Wars. If you look back at the concept art, you can again see the young Avengers here, and then Star-Lord just sitting here at this tavern table here, but maybe they are under control of Doom's hex in this new battle world somehow. Whether that's because Doom just like underestimates them and doesn't even think they're worthy of being put under control, or maybe Star-Lord, he went off-world for a moment or something and avoided it somehow, I don't know. But honestly, this sounds pretty incredible. Like, we know there's going to be something with Doom creating a new battle world or a new dimension or something if they're going to follow the Secret Wars comics even somewhat loosely, and this would be a really cool version of it. I mean, Kevin Feige did talk about this. He said, I think people know that the story of Doomsday is inspired by a very famous comic run in which universes are colliding and Earths encounter one another and different timelines encounter one another. It just felt like an amazing opportunity to pit multiple universes against each other, but you care about all of them. Like, come on, if this was the way Doomsday ended with Doom sitting on a throne in a medieval world, we would all be super seated for Secret Wars to see how this revolves. And I think it would be even more interesting if Doom in his new battle world is kind of right, getting rid of all the different timelines, putting everyone here under his control. It is just super peaceful. All the Avengers are probably happy and stuff here, but it is still wrong because they are just being unknowingly enslaved by Doom here. That could be a really interesting, complex storyline for these characters to have to deal with, especially if they are going to focus on maybe the young Avengers or the new young X-Men characters that we assume are going to be introduced in this new Secret Wars film. Like, we already know Sadie Sink is playing Jean Grey, so that's at least one X-Men that's going to be in Secret Wars. I almost feel like the MCU has to put a lot of focus on these new younger characters in Secret Wars, because yes, this is a huge send-off to pretty much all the big Marvel characters that have come before, and we're going to see all these old legends, but take advantage of the movie that's probably guaranteed to make $2 billion that everybody's going to see, and make people fall in love with the younger Avengers, the new young X-Men, and whoever else might be involved in saving the day. Now, we still got to talk about these new leaks about the reboot that's going to happen after Secret Wars, but first, drop in the comments below your theory for what the ending scene of Avengers Doomsday is going to be. And I also started a new Patreon where I'm going to upload bonus videos, do spoiler versions of movie reviews, and give you weekly recaps of every single movie and TV show I'm watching. I'd really appreciate it if you went over there and subscribed. The link is in the description down below. Speaking of all this, he did also give us some new details about the reboot, and he says that it's reportedly going to look exactly the the same, except mutants will be more prominent in this new universe, and the Fantastic Four will be living on our main Earth 616. I think it's kind of what me and most people have been assuming. Like, obviously, it's not going to be a full-on reboot. They're going to keep most of the heavy hitters around. Maybe they'll kill off some big players, like maybe Shuri's Black Panther gets killed off in these movies, and they introduce Damson Idris from a different universe. But for the most part, it's just going to be like, oh yeah, we're getting rid of the multiverse for good. No more old Fox X-Men and all those people. No more different universes. Everyone's coming into the main MCU timeline, and it's going to be super clean going forward. No more multiverse. Now, if you want to hear the full description of the Doomsday trailer that was shown at CinemaCon, or hear about the other CinemaCon footage like from Beyond the Spider-Verse and Brand New Day, click the playlist above my head right now, and thank you so much for watching.